this whole thing. What are you gonna do for my video? Walk past each other like you don't know each other. Hello, I'm Amy and this is A-Star Reads and it is time for Sunday Sum Up. So it's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. It's been a week of schoolwork. This is basically me trying to get everything accomplished and everything turned in that I possibly can. I'm actually pre-filming this on Friday, but today I have a doozy of an assignment that I should have been working on all throughout the term, and that was the one that I really fell behind when I was struggling. You saw me quite a few weeks ago when I was having problems because I was just feeling the stress of work, and then I had a math class that I dropped, and that was where this part of my literacy class started falling behind, and this is the assignment I have been dreading. So today is the day that I work on that assignment all day long. And once that's over, it will feel like I'm free. Oh, it's been something. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an update about my readathons, because I know that I said I would put out 2 videos for the TBRs for my readathons, but obviously I have had no time for that. I finally did put out my Camp Seasonathon TBR, and that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to edit. So if you'd like to, I'll link it here, and I will link it in the description box below. Go check it out. Go check out the silliness that was our TBR for Camp Seasonathon. So the readathons I'm actually participating in that I'm not going to put a separate video out for are Not Safe for Workathon and Whatever You Wantathon. So Not Safe for Workathon, you saw in my last video, I kind of already started on that one, meaning I picked a book for it. So this readathon is hosted by Paige from Paige to the Page, my wonderful, wonderful booktube friend. I absolutely adore her. And she also has a whole bunch of amazing co-hosts. So I'm gonna link that announcement video up here and everything you need to know in the description box below. Please go check it out. She did such an amazing job and put a lot of work into this readathon, and it's incredibly clever and fun. So this is the crowning round, which basically has everything to do with pregnancy, being pregnant, giving birth, and some of the after bits of that. There's 30 prompts, but you can double up, triple up, do whatever you need to do to make it work, or just fulfill some of the prompts. And I just love how clever Paige was with all of these prompts. I know Ash helped her, so Ash and Paige were very clever in creating all these prompts. So my very first book for Not Safe for Workathon that I pulled was Illuminae, because I got the prompt Leaky Tits, which I talked about in my last video. All my little prompts for Not Safe for Workathon are in here. And I've already put the books on the back of them, you know, what I want for each prompt. And we'll just kind of see what the next prompt is and go forward that way once I finish Illuminae. And then you've got Whatever You Wantathon. And as you can see, I'm part of Team TBR Travelers. I chose this because, well, for one, I absolutely love Gav and I wanted to be on his team. But the special prompts that you have for the team that you're on are the ones that are in colors. For this one in particular, we have Portal Fantasy, Adventure Quest, Middle Grade. These other ones were not really why I chose this team. But I'm reading Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia, hello Portal Fantasy, and Adventure Quest. And Middle Grade, I'm also reading the Percy Jackson series, and I'm also wanting to finish this. I've also got the Tea Dragon Festival, which are ones that I would like to finish, which I would consider those middle grade-ish. I'd say you could work them for middle grade. I got stuff. I got stuff that I want to read that I think will work best for the prompts for this team. So that's the main reason why I chose this team, aside from Gav, because he's amazing. And then all the ones that are in white are the ones that everybody has to fulfill. So has to fulfill. Nobody has to do anything. The nice thing about Whatever You Wantathon, which is being hosted by Maddie from Book Browsing Blog, and I will link all of her information down in the description box below, as well as whatever you need to play Whatever You Wantathon. You can read whatever you want. You don't actually have to worry about this bingo board. I'm going to, but you don't have to. Every book that I read this month, every single book is going to count. And I've been doing this thing on the books that I'm currently reading where I put a little post-it note that has what prompts it works for on the Whatever You Wantathon, so I can keep track of that. So when I actually go to put my points in and stuff, I won't have to scramble around trying to figure out what these books work for. So that's my little goal, my game plan. And the only other thing to say about this is that there are these little gray spots, which are non-bookish things. I mean, she said you could use books for guilt-free activity, and of course there's like readathon and sprints, that's bookish, but like they are not book prompts. I'm gonna do all of them, of course, but there's this complete a personal goal, and I wanted to quickly tell you what my personal goal is. My personal goal is to go through all my clothing and separate the winter stuff out for the summer stuff. I didn't do any spring cleaning this year, so this is my spring cleaning time. I'm gonna try and go through the things that don't fit, you know, like try on all my clothing, go through things that don't fit, or the things I'm just not liking. Like, I don't really want to wear this anymore, so why don't I give it to someone else who might like it more? One of the things I'm finding about my life that's really not working for me is that when I get really busy with schoolwork, everything else kind of goes to hell. And since my life is not that organized at the moment, organized the way that I like it to be, I have this like weight on my head always being like, look how messy everything is. My goals for this summer are basically to get my life organized while I'm not in school, so that when I get back in school, I don't feel as harried. That's that. And then I'll of course join 48-Hour Readathon. I do plan on working on that a little bit and joining their 48-Hour Readathon. I will have my own sprints at some point, and I'll be doing Bookstar sprints. So these are things that I will have no problem doing. One thing that I forgot to do. So we need to generate the color on the cover, because one of the prompts is to have a certain color on the cover. And I did a separate video clip for this, for the TBR that I was hoping to do, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna show that video clip to you now so you'll know what color is the one I'm using for this prompt. This is the first one that shows up, and I guess we have to like refresh it. And it's this color, blue, bright, bright blue. Can you see that? So those two plus Camp Season-a-thon are the readathons I'm working through this month. And I know it's a lot, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'm gonna just work through the month and have fun. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. Once this stupid assignment gets done. Last night I went to trivia and we made 3rd place. And it was wonderful. But I started getting kind of hyper towards the end of it. I was like, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel like school is almost done, and the excitement was there, and I'm like, yeah. It just feels good to not stress about stuff. That's what feels good. Okay, so it's Friday night. I finally turned my literacy reading log in, and I feel freaking amazing. And so then I'm going to enjoy a cozy reading night, because I don't have anything else I have to stress about tonight, and it's Friday night. I could be going out and doing things, but no. I did that last night. I went to trivia. I did great. I need some time for reading. I need some time for myself. And so right now I have some sparkling water. I'm going to be reading Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. This is the 2nd book in the All Souls trilogy. I'm reading it for the Bookstar read-alongs. And I'm right there. I've got 3 more chapters you can see that I want to get, the point I want to get up to tonight. And I'm just enjoying this so much. I enjoyed the first one. I gave it 5 stars. The beginning of this one was good. It was a little detailed, and I find that Deborah Harkness does that quite a bit in the beginning of her books, because she's setting up so much, and she uses a lot of detail. Now we're at a point where the flow of it is really starting to pick up, and I'm really enjoying myself. And then, of course, I love the history, and the beginning of this has so many fun historical nods, but it is dense. So like, I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, okay, it's flowing. And then the reading is coming a little easier, especially because for the last couple of weeks, I haven't really wanted to use my brain that much. So I'm glad we're at the point where I can just slide right through this. For Whatever You Want-a-thon, it's a cozy reading night. So that's what tonight is going to be. And I was thinking about making dinner, but I may just go and pick up dinner, because it's my cozy reading night and I can do whatever the heck I want to. Okay, so on the 30th of May, I actually finished Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. I finally finished it, and it feels good. That was my 8th book of the month. That is the last book that I will finish within May, because today's the 31st, and I'm not gonna get anything done today. And so that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. And such a good book. 5 stars, all the way, 5 stars. Such a great way to finish out this series, which the Lifeship Traders was an amazing series. I actually liked it more than the Farshare trilogy. It definitely hit some of the things that I enjoyed more, but I also like the multiple perspectives. One of the things I really enjoyed, though, is the appreciation it gave me for the Farshare trilogy, because there are elements to it that tie back to that initial series that you mostly find out about, I think, in this book, in this particular Ship of Destiny. And now I cannot wait to get back to the Fits of the Fool, because I want to see what's going to happen next. I want to see how all these things tie together now that I know
what's going on in the greater world when it comes to Realm of the Elderlings. And it's so cool. I'm just learning so much. It is fantastic, fascinating. Obviously, I won't be able to give you much of a review here because this is the third in a series, but I am going to be doing a discussion with Magda, Shell, and Mom at some point after I get my Mad Ship discussion out there. Most likely it'll be a live discussion on Ship of Destiny, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully in June I can get Mad Ship discussion out and then do like a live discussion of Ship of Destiny so that we can move our way into Fool's Errand, because that is the next book. That is the first book of the Tawny Man trilogy, and I will be reading that starting in June. Hopefully finishing in June, but you know, we're not going to put any pressure on me. If you've never heard of this series about the live ship traders by Robin Hobb, this is about these families that have these ships called live ships. And after 3 generations of the family die on the ship, these ships come to life in a sense. And they are actually holding all the memories of the different generations of families that had owned these ships. And the magic comes from the wizard wood, which is what these ships are made out of. So this story has a lot more depth to it than that, but I don't want to give anything away because it would definitely be spoilery. But it's a lot about ships, and there's pirates, and there's a lot of family dynamic. There is a lot of politics in this, which I actually really start appreciating more in this book. I don't know that I enjoyed it as much in the second book, which is maybe why the Mad Ship, the second book, was my least favorite of the 3 books. I still really enjoyed it. I think I still at least gave it a 4.5. If you like high fantasy with multiple perspectives, many stories being intertwined, then I think you'll enjoy this series.
So let's get caught up on my reading. What I'm doing this week is I'm reading Illuminae. This is my Not Safe for Workathon first book that I picked. And of course this works for Whatever You Want-a-thon as well. And I am on page 80 out of 599. Now, it's taking me a little bit longer to read this. For one, I haven't had a chance to pick it up much. And 2, I'm also listening to the audiobook. I've heard that it's a really good experience to listen to the audiobook while reading this. I didn't like listening to the audiobook by itself. I did like reading it by itself, so I don't really know if I need the audiobook, but I've heard it's a good experience, and I'm giving this a try because I really don't typically read audiobooks along with the books. I'm not sure if I like it, but that's just because I don't have any experience with it. And it is slowing my reading down a little bit because the audiobook is definitely slower than I read, but it's fun to get like all the sound effects and the different character voices, and that stuff's interesting. That's fun. So I am doing that. We'll see if I continue on with the audiobook throughout the whole reading of this, but I'm hoping that this weekend I can make some progress on this one. A lot of progress on this one because I'd like to pick my next book for the month. But yeah, I'm having fun restarting this. I know the beginning of it pretty well now because I've started this book 3 times, so I'm gonna finish it this month. And the second book I'm actively working on is Shadow of Night. This is the second book in the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. So I'm really enjoying this, and I'm definitely getting into more of a groove at the moment. And I have made it to page 218. And this is how much I need to read for today. And I'm just trying to read a certain amount every day until our live show discussion on Friday. So I will get this done by Friday. Definitely gonna get this done. And yeah, I'm enjoying that. So making little progress. And then I am 5% of the way through with Little Dorrit, the audiobook I'm listening to that's by Charles Dickens. And that's pretty much it. I have 3 more assignments that are due this week, and they shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm feeling a lot more relaxed. Let me know in the comment section down below what was the best book that you read this week, or let me know what was the worst book you read this week. I'd like to hear about both. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens next week when I'm out of school, and mostly out of school, and I get to read. I'm hoping that all my readathons go really well because I'm excited about them, and I'm kind of excited about sharing my journey with you. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.